Chapter 2555, Shocking. Dragonstar has a training ground that is very useful even for undying divine kings. Dragonstar strong security and training ground. The Dragonstar commercial planet will definitely rise in the future. There are too many training grounds. I guess there will be many experts coming. With only 10 million training grounds, it will definitely be full in the future. Based on the current situation of Dragon Planet, the overall situation of Dragon Planet is much stronger than the other 5 commercial planets. In the afternoon, Dragonstar commercial planet had shaken the entire South Star system, especially the training ground of the Dragon Palace. Many forces were shocked. That powerful training ground was enough to allow undying god kings to rapidly improve, let alone eternal god lords. When this news spread to the other 5 commercial planets, it caused everyone to be incomparably moved. This time they were really shocked. Even the 9th grade Heaven sect and Tianshan Sword sect frowned slightly. They were shocked by the training ground of Dragonstar. Haha, our Dragonstar has shaken the entire South Star system. Many experts are rushing towards Dragonstar. In the Dragon King Hall of the Dragon Palace, a group of experts from the Tiger Demon Kingdom said excitedly. Even if the training ground had nothing to do with them, they might be able to get 40% of the profits from other places. To the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom, this was a huge gain. In the future, they could just rely on Dragonstar to maintain the expenditure of the Tiger Demon Kingdom and increase steadily. Set up an upper limit on the planet. Once the limit is reached, no outsiders will be allowed to enter. Wang Xian smiled and said to the Tiger Demon Kingdom, "All right, Dragon King. Leave it to us." The Tiger Demon Kingdom King said with a smile. "Dragon King, some divine stones have been exchanged for elixir pills." At this time, a few experts from the Dragon Palace rushed in and reported to Wang Xian. "Have they been exchanged?" Wang Xian's eyes were filled with excitement. He waved his arm and took the space rings. "Tiger Demon Kingdom King, get ready tonight. Tomorrow morning we will destroy Xinghua planet." Wang Xian looked at the elixir pills in the space rings and said to the experts from the Tiger Demon Kingdom, "Are we going to do it tomorrow?" "All right." The Tiger Demon Kingdom King nodded. "We will get ready immediately." "All right, tomorrow morning, we will gather on the central planet above Dragonstar." Wang Xian immediately made up his mind. The powerhouses of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom nodded and didn't stay any longer. They immediately flew toward the planet of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. "With these pills, my strength will be able to undergo a qualitative improvement," Wang Xian murmured. With a wave of his hand, all the experts of the Dragon Palace retreated. Roar. With a low roar, he immediately transformed into a divine dragon and swallowed large amounts of pills into his stomach. The elixir pills in his hands were enough for him to improve, and he still had a large amount of dragon energy left. Roar. Very quickly, divine dragon phantoms circled around him, and rainbow-colored light illuminated the entire Dragon King Hall. Ding! Congratulations to host for leveling up to First Order Immortal God King Realm. Divine Dragon Transformation has reached the 7th transformation. The voice of the system sounded, and Wang Xian was extremely excited. He broke through. Wang Xian couldn't help but let out a series of roars. He could feel his body filled with destructive power. He even felt that a sweep of his dragon tail could easily destroy a massive life planet. Name: Wang Xian. Race: Yin Yang 5 Elements Dragon, one with the dragon. Level: First Order Immortal God King, 7th Transformation of Divine Dragon Transformation. Origin Source: 2414344/100000000 Superpower: Dominate the marine animals, rule all marine animals that are lower than your own level, devour living things. Devour living things to extract origin source. 5 Elements Control Art of Cultivation. Divine Dragon Transformation Superpowers. Soul Assimilation, Spiritual Attachment, Yin Yang. 5 Elements Dragonized Dharma Form. 5 Elements Grindstone, Dragon Country in the Palm, Dragon Head Descending, 10,000 Miles Dragon Body, Yin Yang 2 Poles, Yin Yang 5 Elements Bowl, Divine Dragon Tail Whip. Law of Substance: Metal, Wood, Water, Fire, Earth, Light and Darkness. First Order, God Nation, Dragon Palace. Own Dragon Palace. Level 7 Dragon Palace Members, 389842. Looking at his own attributes, Wang Xian's lips curved into a smile. At present, his body had already reached a length of 15,000 meters and was already comparable to a small void beast. However, his strength was much stronger than an ordinary void beast. This upgrade is a qualitative change, allowing my strength to stand at the peak of the South Star Galaxy. With my current strength, I won't be afraid of anyone. Wang Xian revealed a smile. Next, I'll sweep away all my enemies, he murmured. With a shift of his body, he transformed into his human form. The materialized laws immediately turned into a colorful dragon robe. Looking over, he was filled with endless majesty. Advancing from God Lord to God King was a qualitative change. With a lifespan of tens of millions of years, one could tear the void and escape into the cracks of the void. An eternal God nation could also enter the cracks of the void. At this moment, Wang Xian could hide the dragon palace in the cracks of the void. Prime Minister Turtle, he called out softly. Congratulations on your breakthrough, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle came in and congratulated respectfully. Get all the members of the Dragon Palace ready. Tomorrow follow me to destroy Xinghua planet. Wang Xian said with a cold gaze. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded immediately. In addition, send the mysterious demon and the rest to gather information about the 3C sect. This time we'll wipe them out in one fell swoop. Wang Xian sat there, his eyes filled with cold murderous intent. Prime Minister Turtle nodded heavily and immediately left to pass down the order. Wang Xian stood in front of the dragon throne and looked at the huge dragon palace. Unknowingly, in the past 20 years, he had grown from a small fry to an overlord who conquered the world. We've already sent people to investigate. The effects of the training field are indeed heaven-defying. From now on, our Xinghua planet might lose a large number of people. At this moment, in the battleship above Xinghua planet, the three major forces gathered together and spoke helplessly. Ever since the birth of Longxing, they had been discussing all sorts of matters. Seeing the popularity of Longxing, the three major forces were filled with helplessness. Did the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire continue to ask about our reply? The CEO of Jianghu Group rubbed his eyebrows and asked helplessly. There's no reply at the moment. They're currently dealing with Longxing and shouldn't have time for us. An old man said in a deep voice. Now we can only take it one step at a time. The three major forces sat there helplessly and spoke softly. Faced with the rise of Longxing, they had no other way. Swish, swish, swish. The next morning, everyone in Longxing could see the millions of soldiers of the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire flying towards a planet near Longxing. Soon they realized that in the ocean of Longxing, the powerful Dragon Palace army was also flying towards that planet. Such a huge commotion attracted the attention and curiosity of many. Chapter 2556. Dragon King. The million soldiers of the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire are here. 200 undying God Kings will heed your command. On a planet in the middle of Dragon Star, the million soldiers of the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire and 200 undying God Kings arrived under the lead of the Grand Preceptor. Seeing the experts of Dragon Palace charging out from the ocean of Dragon Star, his eyes flashed with shock as he spoke. There are so many experts of Dragon Palace. The 200 undying God Kings from the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire looked to the side and their eyes flashed with shock. At the strongest side of Dragon Palace were the leaders and undying God Kings of Dragon Palace. At a glance there were about 500 of them. And this was just Dragon Palace. The entire chaotic Tiger Demon Empire had only 300 plus undying God Kings. From this, it could be seen that the Dragon Palace was much more powerful than the Tiger Kingdom. The Grand Preceptor also realized that Dragon Palace's overall strength was much stronger than theirs. This made him feel lucky that he was on good terms with Dragon Palace back then. Alright, let's move out now. After destroying Xinghua planet, I will annihilate the 3C sect. Wang Xian said plainly. Dragon King, you guys will be in charge of commanding today. We will be in charge of attacking. The Grand Preceptor smiled and said. Move out. Wang Xian shouted. Everyone immediately flew towards Xinghua planet. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The moment he finished, the million soldiers of the chaotic Tiger Demon Empire and 200,000 members of Dragon Palace flew towards the void ahead. On the left and right, the undying God Kings and the God Lords increased their speed. With their speed they could reach Xinghua planet in 10 hours. On Dragon Star, although some people noticed the commotion, they did not pay much attention to it. We're almost there. After close to 10 hours, an incomparably prosperous planet appeared in their line of sight. Everyone get ready. Prime Minister Turtle stared ahead and said plainly. Clang, clang, clang. The next moment all the members had their weapons in their hands. DDDD. At the same time inside Xinghua planet. Today Xinghua planet was slightly desolate, but in comparison, it was still bustling with activity. Suddenly, an incomparably anxious voice rang out. The voice covered the entire planet, shocking everyone. What's going on? This is the alarm. This is the alarm that will only sound when there is a huge threat. The deafening sound caused the faces of everyone on Xinghua planet to turn incomparably solemn. Some experts immediately flew up into the sky. Not good, there is a terrifying energy flying towards us from the starry sky. All disciples, get ready immediately. A powerful army is heading towards our Xinghua planet. All disciples of the three factions, prepare yourselves. In the void crevice battleship above Xinghua planet, an urgent voice rang out. The experts from the three major factions that had been guarding the Xinghua planet all this while immediately sent out a notice. All disciples of Xinghua planet, prepare yourselves. All disciples of Xinghua planet, prepare yourselves. The next moment, another voice rang out across the entire Xinghua planet. On Xinghua planet, the disciples and experts of the three forces were shocked. Fly into the void immediately. All the disciples and experts immediately flew into the void. The experts of the other three factions immediately teleported to Xinghua planet. As the three major organizations that controlled the commercial planet, they each had three incomparably powerful armies overseeing this place. Furthermore, there was an urgent notice that the experts of the three factions were rushing over. 3 minutes. In just 3 minutes, in the skies above Xinghua planet, there was an army of a few million people standing in the void. At the very front were the leaders of the three factions. 3C Sect Leader, Jianghu Corporation CEO, Black Forest Corporation's Chairman. These three experts were also surrounded by the peak experts of the three factions. Over 600 Undying God King experts had gathered in a short period of time. Reporting to Sect Leader, according to the surveillance of our Xinghua planet's heavenly eye, there is an extremely terrifying power that will reach our location within 3 minutes. An old man flew over with a solemn expression and reported loudly. The leaders of the three factions stared solemnly at the position in front of them, their expressions extremely ugly. Have you found out what kind of faction it is? Is it a human or a large number of wild beasts? Black Forest Corporation's chairman asked with a dark expression. Reporting to chairman, we have not found anything at the moment. This subordinate has already sent people to investigate. The old man immediately replied. Damn it, that direction? 3C Sect Leader looked ahead, his expression changing greatly. That direction was the direction of Dragon Star. But Dragon Star was growing stronger by the day, so they shouldn't be coming over. But if it wasn't them, who could it be? All soldiers, get ready. No matter who they are, it's fine if they are just passing by. But if they threaten our Xinghua planet, kill them all. Jianghu Corporation's chairman roared with a stern expression. Yes. All the disciples of the three factions roared coldly. Swish, swish, swish. Not long after, they saw more than 1 million people flying in the sky. At the front, there were 2 huge flags fluttering in the void. One was the image of a divine tiger, while the other was a divine dragon. It's the chaotic tiger demon kingdom, it's the chaotic tiger demon kingdom. The other might be the dragon palace. At this moment, an expert couldn't help but roar. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Dragon King, we've entered their territory. Prime Minister Turtle stared ahead and said softly. Old State Preceptor, give the order immediately. Get everyone on Xinghua planet to scram. We will destroy the planet in 5 minutes. Wang Xian looked at the Old State Preceptor and said plainly. All right. The Old State Preceptor nodded his head with a stern look on his face. Everyone on Xinghua planet, listen up. The chaotic tiger demon kingdom and the dragon palace will be destroying Xinghua planet in 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to escape. Otherwise, you'll have to bear the consequences. A violent and domineering roar reverberated through the starry sky. A horrifying gust of wind surged forward at a visible speed. The roar formed a hurricane that swept towards Xinghua planet. Before the person arrived, the warning arrived first. At this moment, everyone on Xinghua planet, who was already bewildered, lifted their heads and looked into the void. When the voice rang out, everyone's faces were filled with shock. What? The chaotic tiger demon kingdom and the dragon palace are attacking. They want to destroy Xinghua planet. They will be destroying the planet in 5 minutes. Are they declaring war on the 3 major forces of Xinghua planet? The people on Xinghua planet were horrified. What? In the void, the 3 major forces were shocked when they heard the roar of the Old State Preceptor. In an instant, incomparably violent murderous aura surged from them. Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom Dragon Palace, Are you sure you want to be enemies with the Jianghu group, the Black Forest group, and the 3C sect? Angry roars came from their mouths. Chapter 2557. Xinghua Planet's three major forces. You hired the elites of the Black Cloud Planet's puppet guild to wreak havoc on our dragon planet. Do you think we don't know? Since you dare to cause trouble on our dragon planet, you'll have to pay the price. And your 3C sect, hee. Wang Xian stared at them with a sinister smile. The experts of the three super forces glared at them furiously, their bodies filled with a murderous aura. When they heard Wang Xian, their chests were heaving up and down. Dragon King, don't slander us. You said that we hired the elites of the Black Cloud Planet's Skull Guild to cause trouble on the dragon planet. Please show us the evidence. The CEO of Jianghu Group stared at Wang Xian with an incomparably gloomy face as he growled in a low voice. Evidence? The experts of the Skull Society that we captured are the evidence. The old state preceptor stared at them and said with a cold expression, I'll give you 10 seconds. If you still dare to block our way, then prepare to die. Wang Xian stared at the three major forces of Xinghua Planet and warned them with murderous intent. Dragon Palace, Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom, don't think that we're afraid of you. If you dare to destroy our Xinghua Planet today, the three major forces will fight you to the death. The sect leader of 3C sect stared at Wang Xian with a hideous look and roared crazily. We won't rest until one of us is dead. The ones who will die will be the 3C sect. Wang Xian looked at the sect leader of the 3C sect and a cold gleam flashed across his eyes. All disciples of Dragon Palace and soldiers of Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom, kill them all. Wang Xian raised his arm and the 5 elements grindstone flew into the sky. Kill. The old king let out a roar. His clothes were instantly torn to shreds as he transformed into a heavenly demon tiger god that was thousands of meters long. The next moment, the members of the Dragon Palace and the Tiger Chaos Demon Kingdom roared in unison. A bunch of idiots seeking death. Wang Xian's arm shook and immediately turned into a dragon claw. Dragon country in the palm. He roared and used the Dharma form that he hadn't used for a long time. The kingdom of the dragon in the palm was not very useful for him at the moment. But in this starry sky, in this crushing battle, it was completely suitable. In an instant, a giggling dragon claw that was millions of kilometers long appeared in the starry sky. The entire dragon claw was incomparably ferocious and contained the power to destroy heaven and earth. What? This power? The sudden appearance of the terrifyingly huge dragon claw caused everyone to be shocked. Even the old nation master, who was standing at the side, looked in Wang Xian's direction. His eyes were filled with shock. This is 7th Order Immortal God King, Dragon King's strength? The old state preceptor's pupils constricted slightly as his face was overwhelmed with shock. This is bad, that Dragon King is also a 7th Order Immortal God King. We can't fight him. The sudden order from the Dragon King and the sudden burst of terrifying power caused all the experts from the three superpowers to be shocked. It was especially so for the sect leader of the 3C sect. He widened his eyes and stared at Wang Xian in disbelief. Flee, flee, flee. In the next moment, the higher-ups of the three major forces roared. Buzz. But right at this moment, the 5 elements grindstone arrived at the 3C sect's position, and the array formation instantly enveloped them. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Beams of light immediately descended on everyone from the 3C sect. Some experts' faces were filled with shock, and their figures flickered as they instantly left. The eyes of the sect master of 3C sect constricted slightly as well. He left instantly. However, even more people were directly enveloped by that light. This is bad, this is bad. Sect leader, save me. I can't sense my eternal kingdom. An immortal god king suddenly screamed in horror. When the experts from the other 2 forces heard this, their faces were filled with shock. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In the next moment, the people from the 3 major forces disappeared in a frenzy. In the end, there were only a few 100,000 3C sect disciples left in the void. Wang Xian's dragon claw descended on them, and his eyes were filled with coldness. No. Everyone was appalled and their faces were filled with despair. If there's a demon, blame it on that disciple of the 3C sect. Wang Xian's contemptuous voice rang out. If not for that arrogant young Master Ji of the 3C sect, they wouldn't be in this situation today. Boom. The dragon claw swept across, and the destructive power instantly dissipated their vitality. They couldn't resist at all. Even the 3 5th Order Immortal God King experts who didn't manage to escape in time were instantly killed. The three major forces of the Xinhua planet hired experts to wreak havoc on Dragon Planet. Today, the people of Dragon Planet will destroy Xinhua Planet as a warning to the world. Wang Xian wiped out a group of experts and elite disciples of the Three Seas sect with a single claw. He looked at Xinhua Planet at the side. His cold voice covered the entire Xinhua Planet. Following which, he raised his dragon claw and struck at Xinhua Planet. SSS, Xinhua Planet is going to be destroyed. Run. There were still some people who didn't flee. When they saw the world-destroying dragon claw coming, their faces were filled with fear. Their figures turned illusory, and some of the weaker ones entered the teleportation array. Boom. The 5 minutes they were given had passed, and there was no one left on the entire Xinhua Planet. The dragon claw landed heavily, leaving behind endless dust. Bam bam bam. The planet seemed to be unable to withstand the terrifying force as it let out a violent collision sound. In the void, all the experts from the Dragon Palace and Tiger Chaos Demon Country could see the Xinhua Planet cracking rapidly. The cracks began to spread and gradually the entire planet was like a cracked ball of soil. Boom. Finally, a loud boom reverberated across the universe. Xinhua Planet, which was once one of the 5 major commercial planets in the South Star System, collapsed. The once glorious planet was reduced to fragments, becoming the dust of the universe. There was no emotion in Wang Xian's eyes as he looked coldly at the destruction of the planet. Dragon King, we figured out the situation of the Three Seas sect. Should we attack now? Just then, Prime Minister Turtle received the message from Mysterious Demon and the rest. He flew towards Wang Xian and asked respectfully, "Let's go and annihilate the Three Seas sect." Wang Xian nodded and looked to the experts from the Tiger Chaos Demon Country. "Old Master will settle the Three Seas sect. You guys can head back first." "Alright." The Old Master took a deep look at him before nodding his head. "Let's go to the Three Seas sect," Wang Xian commanded. All the members of the Dragon Palace followed behind at a terrifying speed. Destroying a planet with a single claw. The strength of the Dragon King is terrifying. Terrifying, isn't it? This is too heaven-defying. How strong is the Dragon King to destroy a planet with a single claw? Is he even stronger than our old master? Seeing the experts from the Dragon Palace vanishing into the starry sky, the experts and soldiers from the Tiger Chaos Demon Country whispered in shock. To them, what the Dragon King did just now was simply invincible. "Ah, great, let's head back." The old master laughed heartily and waved his hand. "Let's head back. This battle would definitely shake the South Star System once again." Chapter 2558. Father, I heard that the chaotic Tiger Demon Country and the Dragon Palace have invaded our Xinhua planet. What exactly happened there? On the planet where the Three Seas sect was located, the vast ocean occupied most of the planet. In a palace at the bottom of the ocean, when the Three Seas sect leader flew over from his Eternity God country, Ji Shaojian went up to his father with a gloomy expression. Bam. However, just as he finished speaking, an incomparably terrifying force landed on his head. The immense force did not hold back at all. His neck was split open and Ji Shaojian's eyes widened in fear. Sect leader, young master. When some of the Three Seas sect's experts saw this, they immediately rushed over in panic. "It's all because of you, trash, that the Xinhua planet has been destroyed by the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. That Dragon King is a 7th order immortal god king. Our Three Seas sect might be destroyed in the hands of a trash like you." The Three Seas sect leader roared. If not for his trash of a son's arrogance, he would not have offended the Dragon King. Why would the Three Seas sect suffer such heavy losses? Now that the Xinhua planet had been destroyed, the Three Seas sect's fate was unknown. "Quick, inform everyone in the Three Seas sect to come over immediately." The Three Seas sect leader roared with a savage expression. Yes, yes. The expressions of the few Three Seas sect experts in the surroundings changed drastically. How could this be? How could this be? Ji Shaojian stared blankly at his tyrannical father as he struggled to stand up. At this time he saw his artificial intelligence system vibrating. When he saw the content on it, his eyes narrowed. The Xinhua planet has been destroyed by the chaotic Tiger Demon Country of the Dragon Palace. I heard that the Dragon King destroyed the planet with a single claw. Yesterday the Dragon Star announced that the Xinhua planet had hired people to destroy the planet. Today the Dragon King will lead 1,000,000 troops to destroy the Xinhua planet. The Dragon King might be a 7th order immortal god king. The Dragon Star is too powerful now. It has destroyed the Xinhua planet. The news of the Xinghua planet's destruction spread across the entire South Star system. When everyone heard about it, their faces were filled with shock. A glorious business planet had actually been destroyed just like that. The three major factions had no ability to resist at all. The strength of the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom had also exceeded everyone's expectations. Today, Xinghua planet would have to pay a heavy price for the statement they made yesterday. Yesterday, the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom warned the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect. Will they retaliate against the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect? At this moment, some people raised a question. However, everyone scoffed at this question. No matter how powerful the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom were, it was impossible for them to destroy a 9th-grade Heavenly Sect's business planet. As for this question, many people treated it as a joke. However, what the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom had done today had shocked everyone. Before long, another piece of news arrived. The Dragon Palace had led the experts of the Dragon Palace straight into the 3C Sect planet. All the experts of 3C Sect fled in panic. When this news came out, it caused another uproar. Previously, the sect master of the 3C Sect had personally sent experts to attack the Dragon Palace. In the end, only the sect master had escaped. This time, when the Dragon King of Dragon Palace led experts to attack, 3C Sect fled. All of this was because of that arrogant disciple of 3C Sect. In an instant, Ji Shaojin became a celebrity in the South Star Galaxy. After all, he could single-handedly destroy the mighty 3C Sect. This was also a form of ability. Escaped. At this moment, Wang Xian was hovering above the 3C Sect planet, scanning the ocean below. All the core disciples of the 3C Sect had fled. Those who were left behind were the old, weak, sick and disabled. They had little to do with the 3C Sect. They stood shakily below and looked up at the experts of the Dragon Palace in the sky. Dragon King, the ocean on this planet occupies about 90% of the planet. It's very suitable for our Dragon Palace. Prime Minister Turtle looked at the planet below and said, after all, the Tianzi continent did not belong to the Dragon Palace completely. Moreover, this ocean planet was more than 10 times better than the Tianzi continent. After all, this was a planet that had been occupied by a powerful force for tens of millions of years. Bring this planet with us. Let's go back. Wang Xian nodded his head and said to them, Dragon King, leave it to our devouring dragon. Roving Crab and the rest nodded their heads and dived into the ocean immediately. Soon the entire planet started moving. Wang Xian smiled and followed them to the Dragon Star. After placing this planet not far from the Dragon Star, Wang Xian moved the main Dragon Palace of the Tianzi continent here. Dragon King, the Tiger Luan Demon Country is here. After 2 days of busy work, Prime Minister Turtle came to report. Okay, I'll head over now. Wang Xian nodded his head and returned to his Dragon Star through the Dragon Palace. Dragon King. The Tiger Luan Country King, Old Master, and State Preceptor cupped their fists at Wang Xian respectfully. After witnessing Wang Xian's strength, they were more in awe of the Dragon King. The strength of the Dragon Palace was several times stronger than them. Okay, everyone, the main reason why I called you over is because of the Demon Slayer sect. Have you found anything recently? Wang Xian looked at them and asked directly. During the 2 days of relocation of the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian did not know what was happening outside. Dragon King, we have also sent people to the planets under the 9th grade Heavenly Sect. The 9th grade Heavenly Sect has not made any moves, but the Demon Slayer sect is still active in their territory. The Tiger Luan Country King said. Is that so? It seems like they don't care about us at all. Wang Xian's lips curved into a smile. Dragon King, I feel that the 3C sect, the Jianghu group, the Black Forest group, and the Demon Slayer sect will not let this matter rest. We should take precautions. The old master pondered for a moment and said. That's for sure. Have the Jianghu group and the Black Forest group made any moves? Wang Xian asked. The two groups are now on full alert and have not made any moves yet. But if we want to deal with them, they will be able to react in time. The old master said with a solemn expression. If they did not deal with it, it would be a thorn in their side. The Dragon Palace and the Tiger Luan country had destroyed their business planet. It was impossible for them to be willing. Since the 9th grade Heavenly Sect ignored us and did not give us an explanation, let's give them a warning. Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne and said coldly. Dragon King, what are you thinking? The Tiger Luan Country King asked doubtfully. Since their people attacked our Dragon Star, let's return the favor. Wang Xian's lips curved into a smile as he said coldly. Alright, since there are so many of us, we won't be afraid of being bitten. We can either keep a low profile or establish our authority. The old state preceptor also agreed heavily. Chapter 2559. Otherwise he would keep a low profile and not provoke anyone. Or he could be high profile and establish enough prestige so that others would not dare to provoke him. This was what Wang Xian had been thinking all along. When he was weak he could keep a low profile, not provoking others and not do anything too extreme. But when one was strong they had to establish enough prestige. Regardless of whether it was the Xinhua planet's 3 major factions or the Monster Slayer sect, all of them bore a grudge against the Dragon Planet. It was impossible for the Dragon Palace to be on guard against them all the time. Therefore they had to either destroy them or make them fear them so that they wouldn't dare to have any thoughts about the Dragon Star. Therefore Wang Xian was prepared to face the protection of a grade 9 heavenly sect head-on. Wang Xian felt that the current Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom were enough to go toe-to-toe with a grade 9 heavenly sect. Why should he be afraid of them? Alright. Prime Minister Turtle, order the mysterious demon to create chaos on the grade 9 heavenly sect's business planet. Kill only the grade 9 heavenly sect disciples. Don't hurt the innocent. He immediately ordered Prime Minister Turtle. It's Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle immediately nodded. Old State Preceptor, we also need to be prepared. After all, they are the top forces of the South Star system. I'm not worried about the defense of the Dragon Star or the Dragon Palace. It's your place. Wang Xian reminded the old nation advisor. Don't worry, Dragon King. Our chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom has been fighting with the Monster Slayers sect for thousands of years. Putting everything else aside, we have no problem protecting ourselves. Moreover, they wouldn't dare to provoke us. The old emperor said indifferently. Yes, I'll create 100,000 training grounds for you. I won't charge you any fees and I won't take any profits from the use of the paragons. You disciples of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom can train there. Other than that, you can transfer some of your chaotic Tiger Empire's core disciples to the Dragon Star. In the Dragon Star, even a dozen 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts won't be able to break in, said Wang Xian to the old king and the rest. Thank you very much, Dragon King. Haha. It's our great fortune to be able to befriend the Dragon Palace. A trace of excitement flashed in the old state preceptor's eyes as he immediately stood up and cupped his hands in thanks. Thank you, Dragon King. King Hu Luan and the others immediately stood up to express their gratitude. The Dragon Star training ground was now extremely popular in the entire South Star galaxy. 100,000 training spots were directly given to the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. This was not the most important thing. The Dragon Palace would definitely take a portion of the divine stones from the cultivation ground. Since the Dragon Palace was not collecting the divine stones, it was equivalent to giving them a cultivation ground. 100,000 cultivation spots was a very large amount of resources in the current situation where cultivation grounds were in full swing. With this training ground and a portion of the profits from the Dragon Star commercial planet, the chaotic Tiger Demonic Kingdom would be able to grow at 10 times the speed of the past. It's fine, we're all friends. Wang Xian waved his hand at them. After a simple explanation, Wang Xian flew out of the Dragon Palace, hovered above the Dragon Star, and surveyed the surroundings. In just a few days the Dragon Star arena was full every day. The profits from the arena were even greater than those from battle pets. Through the sale of the battle pets, the Dragon Palace gained a huge amount of resources. Right now, there were close to 2,000 Undying God Kings in the Dragon Palace. Among them there were about 10 6th Order Undying God King experts. As for 5th Order Undying God King Realm experts, there were over 60 of them. Every day, many members of Dragon Palace had Undying God King battle power. On Dragon Planet the number of tourists had reached 10 billion every day. Next it will either be turbulence or calm, Wang Xian said plainly. However, the Dragon Palace had basically gained a firm foothold, and was not afraid of any forces. Days passed, and the destruction of the Xinhua planet had cemented the rise of the Dragon Star. In just a few days the Dragon Star had completely replaced the Xinhua planet. Similarly, the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demonic Kingdom were also on the rise. Now, it was basically confirmed that the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demonic Kingdom had 7th Order Undying God King experts. The situation of 4 major forces becoming 5 major forces had turned into a situation of 4 major forces. Boom boom boom. However, just 5 days later, a terrifying explosion occurred in a luxurious building located in the 9th grade Heavenly Sect commercial planet. The terrifying energy instantly flattened the entire building. Assess this. What's going on? Why is the Xinming building suddenly flattened? I sensed a terrifying power here just now. Is someone fighting here? Look, it seems like many people have died. Someone actually dared to kill people in the 9th grade heavenly sect commercial planet. This? Who did this? Are they courting death? Around the Xinming building, some people looked over, their faces filled with shock. It had been a long time since anyone dared to cause trouble in the 9th grade heavenly sect commercial planet. In fact, it had been tens of thousands of years since anyone dared to kill people in the 9th grade heavenly sect's territory. What's more, it caused such a huge commotion. So. In the next moment, a few hundred undying god kings flew over at a terrifying speed. They looked at the scene below with a dark expression. Boom, boom, boom. One of the undying god kings waved his hand, and all the bricks and metal flew up, revealing thousands of corpses below. It's our 9th grade heavenly sect's disciples. It seems like there's a gathering here. One of the undying god kings looked over, and his expression changed drastically as he landed on the ground. There's law energy, it's an undying god king. They only attacked our 9th grade heavenly sect's disciples. What are they doing? Are they trying to warn us? Who dares to kill people in our 9th grade heavenly sect commercial planet? A thick baleful aura burst out from the body of the old man in the middle. Search for all traces now. He roared furiously. The rest of the undying god kings started searching. Heaven's Net didn't find anything. Other than an undying god king attacking, there's no other information. Very quickly the news came in one after another. The experts of the 9th grade heavenly sect had ugly expressions. There were no traces at all. Other than the fact that it was done by an undying god king, there was nothing else. Ancestor, could it be Dragon Palace and Chaotic Tiger Kingdom? Suddenly, a middle-aged undying god king's expression changed drastically. The grade 9 heavenly sect hadn't had any conflicts with other forces for tens of thousands of years. There was only one force that was most likely to deliberately destroy and kill people on their business planet, the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire. A few days ago, Dragon Palace and Chaotic Tiger Kingdom told Xinghua Planet and their 9th grade heavenly sect to bear the consequences. Now that Xinghua Planet was destroyed, they were suddenly attacked and thousands of their disciples were killed. Dragon Palace, Chaotic Tiger Kingdom. The old man's eyes flashed with killing intent. Are they trying to challenge our limits and walk towards destruction? Violent killing intent surged out of their bodies. Fulfill their wish. Chapter 2560, Big News, the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet was attacked. Thousands of their disciples were killed. Someone actually dared to attack a Grade 9 Heavenly Sect disciple on their business planet. This is the first time in tens of thousands of years. Their business planet was attacked, thousands of people died, but the culprit was not found. It seems like their business planet is not as safe as the Dragon Star. Who did it? The Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet hasn't had any incidents in tens of thousands of years? Could it be the Dragon Star? After all, only the Dragon Star had conflicts with them recently. The Grade 9 Heavenly Sect seems to have not found any clues. I wonder how they will handle this matter. The Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet was attacked. Thousands of people died. This was a huge matter to the South Star system. A business planet meant safety, otherwise no one would dare to go there. The Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet was one of the oldest factions, and incidents rarely happened on their business planet. But now, thousands of people died, attracting the attention of everyone. Adding on the recent rise of the Dragon Star, the destruction of the Xinghua planet, and the grudge between the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect and the Dragon Star. This matter was blown out of proportion by more than 10 times. Countless people were discussing, some guessing that this matter was done by the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demonic Empire. Bang. This is a provocation to our Grade 9 Heavenly Sect. Just as the AI was discussing, a few hundred Immortal King Realm experts were gathered at the entrance of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect. At the front of the group were two 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts. They were the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's sect leader and ancestor. Both of them sat there with gloomy faces. There's a 90% chance that the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demonic Empire are behind this. Do they think that they can provoke our Grade 9 Heavenly Sect just because they have two 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts? The sect leader's face was filled with killing intent as he looked around. Since they dare to provoke us, we'll make them pay the price. Sect leader, we need to calm down. I don't think the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demonic Empire have the guts to do this, even if they have two 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts. Should we discuss this further? A white-bearded old man holding a fan said with a frown. Directly question the Dragon Palace and see what their attitude is. The Patriarch of the 9th Grade Heaven sect pondered for a moment before speaking. Master, let me tell you, we should send people to kill them. If they can explain themselves clearly, this matter will be easy to deal with. If they can't, we'll go to war. The sect master of the 9th Grade Heavenly sect said with a cold expression. You're already the sect leader, yet you're still so rash. The Patriarch of the Grade 9 Heavenly sect glanced at him, then at the white-bearded old man. Now directly question them on the AI. Let's see how the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom react. We'll make a decision based on their reactions. Yes, Ancestor. Leave this matter to me. The white-bearded old man nodded. 10 minutes later, the 9th Grade Heaven sect issued a statement, which was also a question. For millions of years, no one has dared to provoke our Grade 9 Heavenly sect, and no one has dared to cause trouble on our business planet. Now, Dragon Palace of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom, give us a perfect explanation for what happened just now. We will decide your future based on this explanation. A notice and a question. Although the 9th Grade Heavenly sect had no evidence to prove that the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom were responsible, they still dared to issue such a message. If they were not satisfied with the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom's explanation and did not prove that they were not responsible, the 9th Grade Heavenly sect would make them pay a heavy price. The 9th Grade Heavenly sect is so domineering. Even if there's no evidence, they want the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom to prove their innocence. This must be the dignity of the strong. They can't be violated. The announcement from the 9th Grade Heavenly sect shocked many people. Everyone and forces waited quietly for the reply from the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. Dragon King, the 9th Grade Heavenly sect has sent a notice and a question. The Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom asked us how we should reply. They will reply with us. At this time in Dragon Star, Wuxia was leisurely sitting in the Dragon Palace, drinking tea with a group of girls. Prime Minister Turtle walked over and presented the matter on the AI. Let me do it. Wuxia looked at the notice from the 9th Grade Heavenly sect and his lips curved slightly. Since he dared to send the mysterious Demon Kingdom, he was not afraid of the other party finding out. He turned on the AI and replied with a message. All right, let the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom reply as well. Get ready for the next battle. Wuxia said to Prime Minister Turtle. Arrogant? Arrogant? The 9th Grade Heavenly sect had been the overlord for too long, so long that they were a little arrogant. The current Dragon Star was not like the Xinghua planet. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Damn, there's a reply from the Dragon Palace. It's impolite not to reciprocate. The commercial planet of the 9th Grade Heavenly sect is just SOSO. With such low security, I suggest everyone come to the Dragon Star commercial planet. Are they taunting the 9th Grade Heavenly sect? The Dragon Palace is completely unyielding. They are directly admitting that they were responsible for the attack on the commercial planet of the 9th Grade Heavenly sect. What is the Dragon King trying to do? Declare war? He's not afraid at all. It seems like the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom are not afraid of the 9th Grade Heavenly sect because they have two 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts. Regardless of whether it's wise for the Dragon Palace to confront the 9th Grade Heavenly sect head-on, I'm afraid a storm is about to erupt. When everyone saw the sarcastic and mocking reply from the Dragon Palace, they felt that a storm was brewing. This was a blatant provocation from the Dragon Palace. However, after the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom annihilated the Xinghua planet, all the forces understood that the Dragon Palace was not as weak as they thought. If a war really broke out, it would be a long one. Not long after the Dragon Palace's reply, the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom followed up with a statement on behalf of the Dragon Star. The three of them were exactly the same, directly responding to the 9th Grade Heavenly sect. Boom. On the planet of the 9th Grade Heavenly sect, a towering murderous aura dispersed the clouds in the sky. The terrifying murderous aura spread across the entire planet. All Immortal King and above disciples of the 9th Grade Heavenly sect return. Also, summon all the experts from the Demon Slayer sect. A summon order was sent to all the planets of the 9th Grade Heavenly sect. This time, the 9th Grade Heavenly sect was really infuriated. For tens of thousands of years, no one had dared to provoke them. Now that the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom dared to provoke them, the entire ninth grade heavenly sect was infuriated. In an instant, the entire Southern Star Galaxy was in chaos. A war was about to break out. Chapter 2561. Sect Leader. Apart from the experts in the Abyss, all the experts of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect are here. Sect Leader. All the experts of the Monster Slayer Sect are here. On the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's planet, in the main hall of the Sect's Valley, a voice sounded. There were already 1,000 people standing around the hall. Soon, another 100 or so Immortal God King experts walked in. Inside the hall, everyone's face was filled with coldness. Murderous intent burst out from their bodies. The experts of the Monster Slayer Sect saw 3 old men and a middle-aged man sitting in front of them, and their hearts skipped a beat. Speaking of which, this time, it was because of them that the war broke out. This made the experts of the Monster Slayer Sect a little nervous. All the disciples are here. The sect leader of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect looked around and said in a low voice, "Sect Master, this matter arose because of our Monster Slayer Sect." This matter, our Monster Slayer Sect. All right. The sect leader of the Monster Slayer Sect nervously stepped forward and cupped his hands. However, before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted. This is no longer your Monster Slayer Sect's matter. The 9th grade Heavenly Sect Master coldly said. Sect Leader, 2 newly risen forces dared to provoke us. Today we will kill our way there and destroy them. A burly old man stepped forward and said with murderous intent. What do you think? The Sect Master of the 9th Heaven Sect raised his head slightly and asked coldly. Kill, destroy Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. Let them know how powerful we are. No one has dared to provoke us for more than 100,000 years. Today we will let the South Star Galaxy know how powerful we are. A series of ice-cold voices rang out. Let's go. In the next moment, the Sect Master of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect suddenly stood up and roared with a face full of killing intent. Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th rank troops, get ready. 300 Immortal God Kings stay behind to guard the sect. The rest of the experts follow the sect leader. We will not return until we destroy Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. All disciples get ready. Open the war teleportation formation and head to Dragon Star immediately. Very quickly, orders rang out in the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's domain, and the entire Rank 9 Heavenly Sect immediately moved. What kind of scene would it be like for a huge force that had stood in the South Star Galaxy for 50 to 60 million years to move together? In the sky, terrifying battleships rose one after another. Each battleship could easily destroy a star. Even a 6th Order Immortal God King Realm expert would have to flee in panic before it. There were more than 10 battleships of this level. It was born for the sake of war. The Grade 9 Heavenly Sect had a total of 9 armies from Grade 1 to Grade 9. But this time, all 5 legions were mobilized. Within the territory of the 9th grade Heaven Sect, a large teleportation array was activated. This kind of teleportation array would only be activated during the war. More than a dozen battleships with a radius of over 1,000 kilometers entered the teleportation formation, traversing through the void at a terrifying speed, entering the black hole teleportation in the void of the South Star system. When the entire Grade 9 Heavenly Sect began to move, everyone could sense a terrifying energy sweeping through the void. Half an hour later, the news of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect army heading to Dragon Planet spread throughout the entire South Star Galaxy. It's only been a few hours, right? The entire 9th grade Heavenly Sect is moving. They're actually heading for Dragon Planet. Looks like the 9th grade Heavenly Sect is completely enraged. I've heard that all their experts are heading out to annihilate the Dragon Palace and the Wan Tiger Demon Kingdom. This time, the Dragon Palace and the Wan Tiger Demon Kingdom have really gone overboard. The 9th grade Heavenly Sect is one of the oldest forces in our galaxy. They're completely enraged. Is war about to break out? It's only been 3 hours, right? The 9th grade Heavenly Sect is going to annihilate the Dragon Palace and the Wan Tiger Demon Kingdom. I'm afraid they didn't expect this. How dare they provoke our 9th grade Heavenly Sect? Just wait for death, you 2 idiots. When the people on the smart computer received the news, their faces were filled with shock. The 9th grade Heavenly Sect's swift and decisive action had shaken all the forces present. The Dragon Palace and the Wan Tiger Demon Kingdom had only been provoking them for a few hours, and the entire 9th grade Heavenly Sect was already on the move. It seemed like they were completely enraged. The Dragon Palace and the Yuan Tiger Demon Kingdom have gone overboard this time. I'm afraid they're going to pay a heavy price. It's not just a heavy price. The Dragon Star is going to be destroyed. Even if the Dragon King and the Yuan Tiger Demon Kingdom have 7th Order God King battle prowess, they won't be a match for the 9th grade Heavenly Sect. Ah, how dare they provoke our 9th grade Heavenly Sect. The Dragon Palace and the Yuan Tiger Demon Kingdom will definitely be annihilated. The people on the smart computer were discussing fervently. No one was optimistic about the Dragon Palace and the Yuan Tiger Demon Kingdom. Even now, they still had 7th Order God King Realm Immortal King experts. However, the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's foundation was not something they could shake. The people and disciples within the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's territory were ridiculing the Dragon Palace without restraint. At this moment, everyone's attention was on the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's expedition. Dragon King, the 9th grade Heavenly Sect is already rushing towards us. They want to annihilate us. A group of experts from the Yuan Tiger Demon Kingdom arrived at the Dragon Palace and said anxiously. Facing such a colossus, they were also panicking. I've received the news. Don't panic, get ready to welcome them. The corner of Wang Xian's mouth curved slightly as he spoke to the Yuan Tiger country ruler. Since they had issued a provocation, Wang Xian and the rest were prepared for the worst. However, the speed of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's expedition had exceeded their expectations. Dragon King, are you confident? The old Imperial tutor frowned slightly. How many 7th Order God King Realm Immortal King experts will they send? Wang Xian looked at him and asked with a smile. 5 at most, maybe less than 5. However, the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's 6th Order God King experts might be more than us. The old Imperial tutor said worriedly. Don't worry, get ready to appease the guests from Dragon Star. Let's go. As Wang Xian spoke, he made a move and flew out of the place. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Soon, members of the Dragon Palace followed behind and landed on a planet near the Dragon Star. Send someone to appease the guests from Dragon Star and follow closely behind the Dragon Palace. The old Imperial tutor saw Wang Xian's confident look, gritted his teeth and said directly. Since they were prepared to follow the Dragon Palace, they had to prepare for the worst. Dragon King. On a planet above Dragon Star, Tianjin looked at Wang Xian and shouted with a smile. Have you received the news? Get ready. Wang Xian asked Tianjin. Dragon Palace, wait for the attack of my great array. The corner of Tianjin's mouth curved slightly as he looked into the void. He was the former Sky Array God Emperor. Chapter 2562. Don't drag us along if you want to die. The Grade 9 Heavenly Sect is here to destroy you. Hurry up, I want my money back. That's right. Why are you provoking the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect? Hurry up and leave. If you don't leave, you won't even know how you die. Refund. Refund. Hurry up and give us our money back. Damn, I bought a house here yesterday. This is a big loss. Hurry up and give us our money back before the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect arrives. When everyone on Dragon Star knew that the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was coming to attack Dragon Palace, the tens of billions of customers on Dragon Star panicked. The strength of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was deeply ingrained in everyone's hearts. Although Dragon Palace and the Yuan Demon Kingdom were strong, they had just risen. Judging from the strength they had displayed, they were much stronger than Dragon Palace and the Yuan Demon Kingdom. Now that the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was attacking, how could they not panic? One by one, the people who bought houses in Dragon Star and paid the divine stones in the training field protested loudly. The entire Dragon Star was in a state of panic. After this, Dragon Star's position will be completely stabilized. Wang Xian stood on the planet in the sky and looked down at the Dragon Star below. He watched the scene unfold before him and spoke plainly. Many customers were protesting and many were escaping through the teleportation formation. No one thought that the Dragon Palace and the Yuan Demon Kingdom could withstand the attack of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect. Almost everyone believed that the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect would destroy the entire Dragon Star. This caused tens of billions of people to flee in panic. As for those who had spent divine stones in the training field, they asked for a refund. Those who had bought houses and rented shops in Dragon Star wanted a refund from Dragon Palace. They were not buying or renting anymore. The entire Dragon Star was in chaos. Don't worry everyone. Dragon Star is absolutely safe. Don't worry. At this time, an expert from the Yuan Demon Kingdom spoke up. Safe? Safe my ass. Don't you know the strength of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect? It's useless to say so much now. Refund. One of the slightly angry Undyings roared out. Refund divine stones. Refund divine stones now. Around them the crowd shouted loudly. Anyone who wants a refund, give them all back. You can also return the houses you bought. At this time, Wang Xian's voice reverberated across the entire Dragon Star. That's more like it. Hurry up, we don't want to die with you. Some people breathed a sigh of relief and hurriedly urged. Wang Xian looked down at the scenes on Dragon Star and revealed a smile. After returning all the God Stones this time, the Dragon Palace would be able to sell the God Stones at 2 or 3 times the price after today's battle. The tens of billions of people on Dragon Star have all escaped. Not only did they escape, they also made Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Empire withdraw their divine stones. Now they are withdrawing all of their divine stones. Dragon Star is doomed. I thought it could rise again, but the Dragon Palace, Tiger Luan Demon Nation, and the others are simply courting death. What happened on Dragon Planet also caused quite a stir on the artificial intelligence system. After all, tens of billions of people had fled the Dragon Planet, and it had caused quite a stir. The entire Southstar Galaxy was paying close attention to the upcoming battle. How long until we reach the Dragon Star? At this moment, in the starry skies of the universe, 15 interstellar battleships were shuttling through the starry skies. In the warship at the very front, the sect master of the 9th grade Heaven sect asked with a cold expression. Reporting to sect master, we will reach the front of Dragon Star in an hour. An old man reported immediately. There is one more thing to do after annihilating the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Empire. Let's see if we can get the training ground on Dragon Star. I heard that the training ground is very powerful. A Laozu of the 9th grade Heaven sect said plainly. Indeed, some disciples went there to investigate, but it seems like there is an array formation there, and it will be very difficult to replicate. The sect master of the 9th grade Heaven sect said plainly. Array formation? Then it won't be easy to replicate. When the time comes, let's directly destroy Dragon Star. The Laozu of the 9th grade Heaven sect said plainly and directly. Prime Minister Turtle, are the people on the business planet of the 9th grade Heaven sect ready? At the same time, on the planet above Dragon Star, Wang Xian looked at Prime Minister Turtle and asked. Dragon King, they are ready. Prime Minister Turtle said with a smile. That's good. Give the order immediately when they make their move. Wang Xian's lips curved slightly as he looked at the void ahead, waiting for the arrival of the 9th grade Heaven sect. 55 minutes later, there was no one on Dragon Star other than the people of the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Empire. All of the customers had fled to other planets. Only a few skilled and courageous God Kings remained in the surrounding void, wanting to watch this battle. Dragon King, we have detected the other party. They will arrive in 5 minutes. At this time, Tianjin walked over with an array compass in his hand and reported to Wang Xian. All right. Wang Xian nodded and waited patiently. Boom boom boom. 4 minutes later, the 300,000 members of the Dragon Palace stood behind. At a glance, there were 500 Immortal King experts. Close to 300 experts from the Tiger Luan Demon Empire stood by the side, staring coldly ahead. Rumble. Rumble. Lock onto the planet ahead. Scan the opponent's strength. 803 Immortal King experts. Scanning the fluctuations of the array formation, insufficient data. In the void, 15 starry sky battleships whizzed over and entered the sight of Wang Xian and the rest. At the same time, mechanical voices sounded from the starry sky battleships. Hee 800 Immortal King experts, no wonder they dared to challenge us. The sect leader of the 9th grade Heavenly sect and the rest of the experts stood up and stared at the planet ahead through the transparent metal. They looked at the million-strong army above with murderous intent. Blast it. Master, let's use the sky lightning net. The sect leader of the 9th grade Heavenly sect said coldly as he looked at the old man beside him. Ah, great. The Laozu of the 9th grade Heavenly sect nodded. In front of them there was a pillar covered in lightning. The pillar was half a meter thick and it contained the terrifying power of lightning. The sect leader and Laozu of the 9th grade Heavenly sect placed their arms on it. Ka. In the sky, a tunnel opened up and the lightning pillar extended upwards. Around them, 15 starry sky battleships lined up in a row and opened up their cannons. 2 newly rising forces dare to challenge our 9th grade Heavenly sect. Today we'll turn you into stray dogs. The sect leader of the 9th grade Heavenly sect roared. Waves of terrifying lightning energy spread out from his palm into the sky, and an incomparably vast lightning bolt shot into the void for billions of miles. Chapter 2563, Rumble. Crackle crackle. In the void in front of Dragonstar, 15 interstellar warships stood in the void as a terrifying lightning pillar pierced through the void. Violet lightning illuminated the world. However, in the next moment, the pillar of lightning slowly split apart, and an extremely terrifying energy shot out from it. The lightning pillar slowly dispersed and formed an incomparably enormous lightning net. The lightning net covered a radius of over 100 million kilometers, covering all the planets in front of it. This horrifying scene was like the end of the world. This is... What the fuck, what kind of attack is this? Run. Run, run, run. The other undying god kings in the surrounding space almost pissed themselves when they saw this. Their faces were filled with horror as they hurriedly teleported to the side. The lightning net that covered the sky fell from the void as if it was going to tear the void apart. The immortal kings who were watching the show fled. Ka. Plasma Rain Law Cannon attack. At this time, the 15 incomparably huge warships lined up in a row, and all of their cannons poked out, instantly firing forward. Boom boom boom. In an instant, waves of terrifying law of fire, each with a diameter of over 100 kilometers, penetrated the void and attacked Wuxia and the rest. With such a terrifying attack, 10 planets would be reduced to dust in just a single round. Inside the interstellar warships, everyone from Grade 9 Heavenly Sect had a hideous look on their faces. They stared at the front excitedly. The lightning net from Grade 9 Heavenly Sect leader and Laozu required the cooperation of 2 7th Order Immortal Kings from Dragon Palace and Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom to defend against it. But even if they could defend against the lightning net, the rest would not be able to withstand the attack from the interstellar warships. This horrifying interstellar warship could vaporize everything within 1 billion kilometers. Everyone from the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom paled at the sight of this terrifying energy. Their eyes revealed a trace of fear. Dragon King. The old marshal of Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom growled and looked at Wuxia anxiously. Don't worry. Wuxia looked at the horrifying attack and revealed a smile. He looked at the sky array at the side. Hee. Tianjin chuckled. Looking at the lightning net that was about to fall, he moved the compass in his hand. Buzz buzz buzz. In the next moment, everyone felt the space around them tremble, and a green beam of light directly fell toward the stars on both sides. Buzz buzz buzz. Following that, a green beam of light connected the 10 planets, and an illusory tree covered the entire void. All the experts of the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom looked over with their eyes wide open. Sky shrouding tree, sky shrouding formation. Sky Array God Emperor lightly spat out. His face was filled with intense confidence. Ka. At this time, the terrifying lightning net attack fell, landing on the illusory giant tree. Buzz. The entire sky shrouding tree trembled slightly, and the energy of the lightning net slowly dissipated. At the same time, on the warship in the center, the sect leader and patriarch of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect paled when they saw their lightning net being blocked. Their faces were filled with shock. With the support of the lightning pillar, even if there were 2 7th Order Immortal God King Realm experts on the other side, it would be difficult for them to defend against their attacks. However, the illusory divine tree that rose from the opposite side directly blocked the lightning net attack. Boom boom boom. At this time, the attacks from the 15 warships also landed, and the terrifying attack exploded in the void. Fiery red laws shot out in all directions. The divine tree that covered the sky trembled lightly, but there was no effect. How is this possible? What kind of defense is this? Everyone who had fled far away saw how easily the attack from the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was blocked, and their faces were filled with shock. How is this possible? Inside the warship, the faces of the experts from the 9th Grade Heaven Sect were also filled with shock. It's an array. This is a defensive array. A powerful defensive array. Several old ancestors from the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect narrowed their eyes as they exclaimed in shock. Have a taste of the attack of the sky shrouding divine leaf. On the planet, Sky Array was not surprised at all when he saw this. The compass in his hand moved again. Buzz. In the next moment, the illusory leaves of the sky shrouding divine tree slowly formed, and each of them emitted an incomparably sharp luster. So. When the divine leaves solidified, countless divine leaves directly attacked the 15 warships in the void. The green leaves emitted a terrifying sharpness, and the entire space was cut open. Oh no, defend immediately. Seeing the endless green sharp leaves, Everyone from the ninth grade heaven sect was aghast and immediately roared loudly. Ka. The 15 warships immediately raised a powerful defense, and in front of the warships, a 1,000,000 kilometers thick defensive metal plate. Boom 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 boom. But in the next moment the densely packed attacks landed on the warships, and the terrifying impact was like the collision of ice points. Bang bang bang. The terrifying attacks caused the entire warship to shake violently. Beep beep beep. The warship is damaged by 50%. The warship is damaged by 30%. The warship is about to collapse. All personnel please evacuate immediately. All personnel please evacuate immediately. An ear-piercing sound rang out, and the powerful warship did not even last a minute. Everyone leave the warship. Everyone leave the warship. The sect leader of the grade 9 heavenly sect's expression changed drastically, and immediately ordered loudly. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Inside the warship, the 1,000,000 experts and disciples of the grade 9 heavenly sect hurriedly fled. Pung. Just as everyone escaped, the 15 warships directly crumbled into pieces. How could this be? All the disciples and experts of the grade 9 heavenly sect looked at the scene in front of them in shock. In their opinion, before they arrived at Dragon Star, a single round of attacks would be enough to destroy their star. However, Dragon Star's defenses easily blocked their attacks, and instead the 15 warships were easily destroyed by the enemy. Oh no, the enemy might have an array master that can fight against the 7th Order Undying God King. Some of the Undying God Kings from the grade 9 heavenly sect were shocked. Only a powerful array grandmaster would be able to set up such a terrifying array. A powerful array formation grandmaster who had set up an array in advance was very perverse. Wung. At this moment, the 9th grade heaven sect master's brain was trembling. He was slightly shocked and immediately opened it. Not good, more than 500 Undying God Kings are attacking our business planet, and many of them are wreaking havoc in our planet. Chapter 2564. The 9th grade heavenly sect master roared. When the surrounding people heard what he said, their faces revealed incomparably ugly expressions. What? 500 immortal God Kings are attacking our business planet. The breathing of the 3 patriarchs of the 9th grade heavenly sects was somewhat hurried, and an incomparably violent killing intent burst out from their eyes. Not good, the terrifying attack is still going on. Right at this moment, a terrified voice resounded from the front. Everyone looked over and saw the dense and boundless leaves penetrating the battleship and continuing to attack them. The warship was already riddled with holes. Block. The sect master and the 3 forefathers' expressions changed drastically. They immediately deployed powerful defenses. The Dragon Palace and Tiger Yuan Demon Kingdom have a terrifying formation grandmaster. One of the forefathers couldn't help but roar. After a formation grandmaster sets up a formation, he can fight against several existences of the same level. Another patriarch roared in a deep voice. Their expressions were grim. A formation grandmaster like that might be a bit weaker in attack, but it was too difficult to break through the place he was guarding. Based on the current situation, the chances of their 9th grade heaven sect breaking in and destroying the stars were extremely small. Even if they could, who knew how many experts would die? Eternal God Lord level disciples, retreat. An ancestor of the 9th grade heaven sect clenched his fists tightly and roared loudly. Yes, forefather. The disciples of the 5 legions growled with ugly expressions and immediately returned to their eternal divine nations, their faces pale as a sheet. This time they'd thought that even if they couldn't destroy the enemy, they'd at least be beaten to a pulp. They hadn't expected 15 warships to be destroyed as soon as they entered the enemy's territory. This was an incomparably precious battleship. Judging from the current situation, it was impossible to destroy the Dragon Star and defeat the Dragon Palace and Yuan Demon Kingdom. Bus. At this time, the sect master's AI began to tremble again. He opened it and looked at it. His face was so gloomy that it looked like it was about to drip blood. Our 9th grade heaven sect's business planet can't hold on any longer. Master, bring a group of experts and rush back immediately. The 9th grade heavenly sect master roared. Damn it. The strength of the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom is much stronger than we thought. The crowd of experts took a deep breath. The faces of the experts of the Monster Slayer sect were extremely pale. There were 800 Undying God Kings on the other side, adding on the ones that attacked their business planet, there were more than 1,300 of them. The current godly kings of the grade 9 heavenly sects and the Monster Slayer sect were only SOSO. Go back, don't fight anymore, go back immediately. A ninth-grade heavenly sect ancestor said. The ninth-grade heavenly sect leader opened his mouth, his expression changing. They're all going back, we can't win, the other side has 2 more 7th order immortal god king realm experts. Retreat. Another ancestral patriarch said. Return immediately. The sect master of the 9th grade heaven sect gritted his teeth and growled in a low voice. The group of undying god kings glanced at each other bitterly before disappearing. Dragon King, they have all escaped. The moment they disappeared, Tianjin looked at Wang Xian and spoke with a smile. He escaped just like that? I thought a grade 9 heavenly sect would be strong, but he's so useless. The corner of Wang Xian's lips curled up, his face revealing a mocking expression. My god, is this the Dragon Palace? At the side, everyone from the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom trembled as they stared at the scene before them in utter shock. They thought that today would be a fierce battle, but the truth was that they didn't even need to do anything. Just the powerful array Grandmaster of the Dragon Palace alone was enough to withstand the attack of the entire Grade 9 Heavenly Sect. They stared blankly at the 15 battleships in front of them, a little dazed. At this moment they suddenly felt extremely lucky. With such a comrade they could sleep peacefully. And after today's battle, who in the entire Southstar Galaxy would dare to provoke them? Who would dare to provoke the Dragon Star? Thinking of this, the people of the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom were extremely excited. Am I seeing this right? Am I seeing this right? The people of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect have escaped, they're returning in defeat. In the surrounding area, those who were prepared to watch the show witnessed this scene, and their faces were filled with astonishment. Seeing the undying god kings of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect leave, seeing the 15 destroyed battleships. Who would have thought that this would be the outcome? The Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom had relied on that horrifying array to defeat the entire Grade 9 Heavenly Sect. This is too strong, such a horrifying Dragon Star, it's almost invincible, impossible to break. SSS, the Southstar Galaxy will have a new king in the future, a true king. Some of the undying god kings were shocked. Look at the AI, the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet has suffered great damage. At this moment, an undying god king exclaimed. Everyone immediately turned on the AI to look. Boom boom boom. At this moment, on the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet, the sound of explosions, the sound of fire, the sound of people fleeing for their lives could be heard. In the sky, the battleships were fighting against the sudden invasion of 500 undying god kings. However, these 500 undying god kings were on their own planet, the attacks from above had indirectly created a horrifying shockwave. The sudden appearance of 500 undying god kings, in less than a minute, destroyed a large portion of the planet. The 400 undying god kings guarding here were extremely anxious, they didn't even dare to go all out in the battle. Because if they really fought, the entire 9th grade Heavenly Sect's business planet would be destroyed. Fortunately, this planet had a layer of defense system that could withstand a few attacks from 7th Order God King Realm immortals. However, this could only protect the entire planet, not the buildings on it. These are the experts of Dragon Palace. What the fuck is this Grade 9 Heavenly Sect doing? Weren't they attacking Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom? Why are they being attacked? Yeah, what's going on? Who's attacking who? If this continues, the entire planet will be finished. Many undying god kings were guarding their businesses on this business planet. Their expressions were extremely ugly. Just now, the AI was discussing how long it would take for the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect to completely destroy Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. They were discussing whether Dragon Star would be destroyed. Whether or not Dragon Star would be destroyed was unknown, but the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet was about to be destroyed. Damn it, everyone from Dragon Palace, you all deserve to die. In the void, the sect leader of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was rushing towards their business planet at his fastest speed. Seeing the flames of war on the planet, his eyes turned bloodshot as he roared furiously. Chapter 2565. Capture them, don't let a single one of them escape. An enraged roar could be heard as the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's sect leader flew over. One of the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's ancestors also rushed over, his eyes bloodshot. 1/5 of the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet had been destroyed, and the entire planet was in a mess. Compared to the previous destruction of a skyscraper, this time's destruction was undoubtedly much more tragic. Retreat. The Dragon Palace's members sneered when they saw the 7th Order God King Immortal returning. Roving demon's voice rang in everyone's ears. Wong. In the next moment, all the members of Dragon Palace trembled and disappeared. All of them had left without any injuries. Boom. The furious Rank 9 Heavenly sect leader slammed his fist into the ground, his body trembling. Dragon Palace. Looking at the destruction around him, the Rank 9 Heavenly sect leader couldn't help but roar, his eyes bloodshot. Behind him, the Rank 9 Heavenly sect's ancestor was trembling. This time, their million-strong army had gone to Dragon Planet, but they had been beaten back before they could even enter Dragon Planet. Now Dragon Palace had destroyed 1/5 of their business planet. If not for the Foundation defense system, the entire planet would have been blown to smithereens. This time their Rank 9 Heavenly sect had suffered great losses. On the planet below, when the undying god kings who came to destroy the planet left, they looked at the messy planet with ugly expressions. Why did Dragon Palace's people suddenly come here to cause destruction? Didn't Rank 9 Heavenly sect already kill their way over? How could they still send people over? A few immortal god kings looked at the destroyed businesses, their faces incomparably dark. Look at the smart computer, someone said that Rank 9 Heavenly sect attacked Dragon Planet, but was blocked outside. 15 battleships were all destroyed and Rank 9 Heavenly sect fled. At this time, a voice came from not far away. The surrounding people were slightly stunned and immediately turned on the smart computer. As expected, the news had already spread like wildfire on the smart computer. Rank 9 Heavenly sect had gathered 80% of their forces and led their disciples to destroy Dragon Palace and Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. But now there were 15 battleships wreckage in the void. Some undying god kings claimed that the Grade 9 Heavenly sect had completely fled, they couldn't even break through Dragonstar's defenses. This news shocked everyone. At first, many people didn't believe it, but when someone was teleported to the Dragon Palace, they found that everything was true. Who would have thought that it would be like this? Fuck, this is unbelievable. The entire level 9 sky couldn't break through Dragonstar's defense. Is Dragonstar's defense heaven-defying? That's a 9th grade Heavenly sect we're talking about. Those God King level battleships were easily destroyed, and the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire didn't even have to do anything. This time the 9th grade Heaven sect has lost a lot of face. They arrogantly charged over, but in the end they all escaped in less than 10 minutes. The intelligence system erupted with commotion. Who could have imagined this type of situation? The incomparably powerful 9th grade Heavenly sect had fled? But very quickly, the news of the Grade 9 Heavenly sect's business planet being attacked was sent to the artificial intelligence system. There were pictures of a mess. One by one, the destroyed videos spread like wildfire on the AI. As soon as this news spread, it shook the entire Southstar galaxy once more. We agreed to destroy the Dragon Palace, the Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom, and destroy the Dragon Star. What happened? Their own home was bombed? This gap is too big. How ironic. A fifth of the Grade 9 Heavenly sect's business planet was destroyed by 500 God Kings. From the looks of it, the Grade 9 Heavenly sect's business planet can't compare to Dragonstar at all. The difference in defense is like heaven and earth. Dragonstar has an incomparably powerful array master. I don't think any force in the entire Southstar galaxy can break through Dragonstar. Dragonstar is the safest business planet. As soon as these two pieces of news spread, countless people discussed. Dragonstar's strength shocked everyone. Later on, someone said that Dragonstar had an incomparably powerful array master. No one could break through and no one could cause trouble on Dragonstar. As soon as this news came out, Dragonstar's status rose by several levels. Such a safe planet was the best business planet. There was no fear of comparison. The difference between a Grade 9 Heavenly sect's business planet and Dragonstar was like heaven and earth. On the AI, countless people were discussing the strength of Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. Dragonstar's defense. In the end, it could be concluded that even if Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom were not as strong as the top 4 forces, they were definitely not weaker than them. In fact, the other 4 forces could not even break through Dragonstar. But Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom could wantonly destroy their business planet. Dragonstar was also rated as the safest city with the strongest defense in the Southstar galaxy. This caused many people to rush into Dragonstar, and many businesses to enter Dragonstar. Wow, I returned the house on Dragonstar not long ago. Now it costs 5 times the original price. What the hell, Dragonstar and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom are robbing us, right? You're so stupid and you're blaming others. Do you think Dragon Star is the safest planet in the South Star Galaxy? Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom will raise the price. With the price of the house on Dragon Star, it will probably rise a lot. In the future, there may be a lot of people and businessmen staying here. At this moment in Dragon Star, when everyone learned that Dragon Palace easily withstood the attack of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, many people rushed towards Dragon Star. Especially those who had bought a house, they immediately came to buy it again. But it was a pity that the price was increased by 5 times this time. If not, get lost. Today's battle had completely established the strength and status of Dragon Star. Now, it could be said that Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom could rival the other 4 forces. And Dragon Star could surpass the other 4 business planets. Wang Xian stood on the planet in the sky and looked down at Dragon Star with a smile. Don't be careless next. Continue to strengthen the security and defense of Dragon Star. You must take revenge and lay the foundation of our Dragon Palace. He said to Sky Formation plainly. Yes, Dragon King. With me around, I guarantee nothing will happen. Sky Formation replied confidently. All right, we'll develop steadily for a period of time. Wang Xian smiled. This time they had completely established a foothold in the South Star Galaxy. Once the foundation was built, it would be much easier for Dragon Palace to improve rapidly. However, compared to the prosperity of Dragon Star and the celebration of Dragon Palace and chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom, everyone at Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was extremely embarrassed. They had not fought for hundreds of thousands of years, but this battle had become a humiliation. Chapter 2566. Today's matter is our Rank 9 Heaven Sect's greatest humiliation. Inside the Rank 9 Heaven Sect, more than 1,000 undying kings gathered in the main hall. At the front, an elder leaned on a chair and closed his eyes, speaking slowly. The 1,000 undying kings in the hall all fell silent. Right now, the entire South Star Galaxy was laughing at them. One Dragon Palace, one chaotic Tiger Kingdom, both greatly damaged their reputations. At the same time, their business planets also suffered great losses. Their reputation and resources suffered great losses. On the contrary, their enemy, the Dragon Palace, rose strongly because of this wave. Dragon Palace and chaotic Tiger Kingdom's Dragon Planet is something we can't break, but I don't believe they can stop our constant harassment. An undying king's expression changed as he spoke coldly. If we harass them, they can also harass us. This method can harm the enemy by 1,000, but we can also harm ourselves by 2,000. An old man glanced at him and said coldly. The undying king choked and didn't say anything else. We can attack the chaotic Tiger Kingdom and Dragon Palace's other planets. We don't have to attack their Dragon Planet. However, they're much stronger than we imagined. An elder said with a slight frown on his face. Attacking Dragon Palace and chaotic Tiger Kingdom's other planets was fine, but the enemy's strength wasn't much weaker than theirs. If they attacked them, they could also retaliate. Especially since their business planets could stop them, but they couldn't. The elder's words silenced everyone else. Dragon Palace and chaotic Tiger Kingdom's strength wasn't something they could touch just because they wanted to. Sect Leader, Elder, 3C's Sect, Jianghu Corporation, and Black Forest Corporation are requesting an audience. At this moment, a disciple walked in and reported. 3C's Sect, Jianghu Corporation, Black Forest Corporation? Everyone raised their eyebrows slightly. The sect master of the 9th grade Heaven Sect, who was sitting in front, waved his hand. Let them in. Xinghua Planet's forces? The elder beside him opened his eyes and said faintly. 3C Sect, Jianghu Corporation, Black Forest Corporation, apologies for disturbing Rank 9 Heaven Sect. Very quickly, a dozen middle-aged elders walked in. They scanned the surroundings and their eyes landed on the Rank 9 Heaven Sect leader and elder. Jem, may I know why you are here? The 9th grade Heavenly Sect leader looked at them and asked indifferently. Sect leader of the Sky Sect, the 3 of us are not beating around the bush. We want to form an alliance with you. Although we know that there is still a huge gap between us and the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect, the strength of our 3 forces is not weak either. We wish to form an alliance with the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom in the future. Jianghu Corporation's CEO directly said. After learning that the Dragon Palace and the Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom were so powerful, the ones with the most unsightly expressions weren't the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, but the 3C Sect. Now that Xinghua Planet had been destroyed by the Dragon Palace and 3C Sect had become stray dogs, the Jianghu Corporation and the Black Forest Corporation had to tread carefully. After some consideration, the three great powers came to see if they could form an alliance with the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect. If the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect agreed, it would be much easier for them to deal with the Dragon Palace in the future, and they could even completely suppress it. Oh. The eyes of the 9th Grade Heaven Sect's sect leader flickered as he looked at the people from the three great powers. The three major forces were once able to establish a commercial planet, and their strength was not to be underestimated. With the alliance of the three factions, they had more than 1,200 undying god kings. Even though the 3C sect had lost some, they still had more than 1,000. The Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was also very clear about their motives for coming to the alliance. The Dragon Palace, Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom had destroyed their business planet. The three factions also wanted revenge. We, the 9th Grade Heaven Sect, have no objections to the alliance, but the matter of dealing with the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom in the future. The sect master of the 9th Grade Heavenly Sect said without hiding anything. Sect leader, we can form an alliance first. As for dealing with the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom, we can take our time. There's no need to rush. They have powerful formation grandmasters, but in reality, they are not as strong as the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect. We will eventually have a chance to deal with them. The sect master of 3C's sect spoke with a sinister expression. That's true. A faint smile appeared on the face of the 9th Grade Heavenly Sect master. Since that's the case, let's form an alliance first. As for how to deal with them, we'll decide based on the situation. An old man from the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect stood up and made his decision. All right. The 3C sect master and the others revealed looks of delight. Wow. Something big has happened again. The 3C sect, the Jianghu group, the Black Forest group, the Monster Slayer sect, and the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect have announced an alliance. What's going on? The five major forces actually announced an alliance? It was not strange for the Monster Slayer sect to form an alliance with the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect. However, why would the 3C sect, the Jianghu Corporation, and the Black Forest Corporation suddenly form an alliance with the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect? Is it to deal with the Dragon Palace and the Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom? Isn't this alliance too terrifying? One of the top powers in the South Star system, the rest are all former top 10 powers. Doesn't that mean they have more than 2,000 undying god kings? Looks like they are going to fight a protracted war with Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom. In less than 2 hours, 3C sect, Jianghu Corporation, and Black Forest Corporation announced their alliance. Very quickly, the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect also made an announcement. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. In the eyes of the outside world, it was obvious that the five forces had joined forces to deal with the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom. This news caused quite a stir and there was a lot of discussion. Some people said that the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom might be finished. Some people said that the Dragon Palace and Dragon Star would not be destroyed, but their area of activity in the South Star system would be greatly reduced in the future. Some people guessed that even if the five forces could not break the defense of Dragon Star, they could still create a barrier for the Dragon Palace. This barrier was that it would be very dangerous for the disciples of the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom to leave their territories in the future. Some forces also guessed that the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was prepared to fight a protracted war with the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom to see who would be exhausted first. The alliance of the five forces had shocked many people and forces. Alliance, how interesting. When Wang Xian saw this news, his expression did not change much. Even the alliance of the five forces could not break the defense of Dragon Star, and they might not dare to come and cause trouble. At most, they would be ambushed when they were outside their territories. Five forces, do you think I will be afraid of you just because you have joined forces? Wang Xian's face revealed a cold expression. When the Dragon Palace had absolute strength, the first thing Wang Xian wanted to do was to eliminate the five forces. He wanted them to know the consequences of offending the Dragon Palace. Chapter 2567. Days passed. Ever since the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect attacked Dragon Star, their business planets were destroyed. By the time Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, Monster Slayer Sect, 3C Sect, Black Forest Group and Jianghu Group announced their alliance, a year had passed. Within this year, nothing special happened in the South Star Galaxy, and there were no more battles or killings. Everything was peaceful. Dragon Palace had completely sunk in this 1 year. The foundation had been laid. Every day, the members of Dragon Palace were improving rapidly. Within a year, Dragon Palace had gained close to 400 Immortal King experts. Basically, there would be one every day. As Dragonstar stabilized and all the battle pets were sold, Dragon Palace's strength also slowed down. But one immortal king a day was still achievable. During this 1 year, Dragonstar and Dragonstar's training grounds were always full of people. Just by relying on the training grounds, Dragon Palace could obtain a large amount of resources every day. SSSSSSSSS. A year later in Dragon Palace, the sound of tongues being swallowed could be heard. Alright, I've helped you reach 5th Order Immortal King. I'm a man of my word. On the Dragon Palace planet, Wang Xian looked at the erect serpent before him and spoke to the Emperor Star Maiden beside him with a smile. Humph, you said you'd help me in 2 years. It's been more than 2 years now. How insincere. Emperor Star Maiden stood in front of the snake with excitement in her eyes, but she still rolled her eyes at Wang Xian. Hee, I was going to ask you to be my bait for 2 years. Isn't it because I'm too kind? Wang Xian smiled and continued to bicker with her. Over the past year, Wang Xian had been much more relaxed. Every day he would play with the girls and Emperor Star Maiden Yin Xian would sing for him. Life couldn't be more comfortable. Alright, there's something to deal with. Cultivate well. Look at you, only 9th Order Eternal God Lord. Sigh. Seeing Prime Minister Turtle walking over, Wang Xian teased Emperor Star Maiden and left. Humph, with my 9th Order Eternal God Lord strength, I can scare people to death when I return to the Imperial Court. But, Emperor Star Maiden glared at him, but when she thought of Yin Xian and Shuqing's strength, her face fell. Each of them had the strength of a 3rd or 4th Order Immortal King. Compared to them, she was like a little sister. Dragon King, the investigation is almost done, said Prime Minister Turtle when he saw Wang Xian walking over. Well, let's make a plan. Wang Xian nodded his head. The Dragon Palace had settled down for a year. If it continued to develop like this, it would maintain its current speed. Such a situation would be heaven-defying to any other forces. But to Wang Xian it was too slow. Yes, it was too slow. Although Dragon Palace could gain one more Undying God King every day, it was much harder to increase the number of Undying God Kings. This would require at least half a month or even a month to raise the strength of an Undying God King to the 2nd level. Such a slow improvement was not what Wang Xian wanted to see. This is some information about the Abyss. There is a lot of information about the Abyss on the Wisdom Brain, but you need to search it. The mysterious demon and the others have gone ahead to investigate. If we can kill a large number of Abyss species, we can improve the Dragon Palace rapidly. Prime Minister Turtle handed over a set of documents to Wang Xian. Wang Xian took it and started reading. In this dazzling world, humans were not the rulers of this place. The South Star Galaxy was considered a relatively safe place. But the galaxy next to the South Star Galaxy, and one of the 3 small islands in the Imperial Star Domain, Demon Island, were all under threat. In the entire Imperial Star Domain, the greatest threat was the Abyss species. The so-called Abyss species was a type of monster that lived in the cracks of space. In the starry sky of Demon Island, there was a huge fluctuation of space, and there was another world in the cracks. The Abyss species belonged to the products of that world. They were extremely violent and had a strong killing instinct. At least tens of millions of inhabited planets were under the threat of the Abyss. Many experts had entered the starry sky around Demon Island and entered the Abyss to hunt the Abyss species. The Abyss species had a pure law core in their bodies, which was extremely beneficial to the cultivation of an Undying God King. The Abyss species were the targets of the Dragon Palace this time. But entering the Abyss was not 100% safe. The greatest enemy of the entire Imperial Star Domain was the Abyss species. In other words, within the Abyss, there was a terrifying Abyss species like the Void God Emperor. I can go and take a look first. The Sky Array is guarding Dragon Star. Wang Xian looked at the information on it and said to Prime Minister Turtle, Dragon King, there's one more thing. Recently, the Sky Array discovered that someone is monitoring our every move. Prime Minister Turtle frowned slightly. It should be the 9th grade Heavenly Sect and the other forces. Not long ago, a group of experts from the chaotic Tiger Demon country brought their disciples out for training and never returned. From the looks of their god nation, they were killed. Prime Minister Turtle added. They are preparing to fight a protracted war with us, and are prepared to restrict us to this area. Wang Xian sneered, ignore them. When our Dragon Palace is strong enough, it will be time for them to be annihilated. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Currently, the Dragon Palace had over 2,000 Undying God Kings, but there were only 2 7th Order God Kings. When the Dragon Palace had enough 7th Order God Kings, it would be time for them to be annihilated. I'll head to the abyss to investigate first. I'll leave the matters of the Dragon Palace to you," said Wang Xian to Prime Minister Turtle. After which he informed the girls. Looking at the map on the AI, Wang Xian moved and headed to the teleportation formation. With his current 7th Order God King strength, he could do whatever he wanted in the South Star Galaxy. Therefore Wang Xian did not hide anything. Dragon King is out. He has left the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Country's territory through the teleportation formation. When Wang Xian left, a message was sent to a planet in the 9th grade Heavenly Sex territory. Dragon King is heading to a planet at the edge of the Devil Islands. He should be heading to the abyss. Soon the message was sent there. Wang Xian did not mind that his tracks were being followed. Without 5 to 6 7th Order God King Realm Immortal Kings, they would not be able to stop him. Is the abyss ahead? At this moment Wang Xian was flying in the void, looking at the world in front of him. In front of him, there was an incomparably deep darkness. In the darkness, there were continents floating above it. On the continents there was a figure walking out. Beside the continents, there was an obvious crack in space, the bottom of which could not be seen. Chapter 2568, Abyss. Wang Xian flew forward quickly and landed on a land plate. On the plate there were simple houses. The land with a radius of tens of millions of kilometers was bustling with activity. There were many people, but none of them were below the level of the eternal God Lord. There were no guards on the plate, which meant that there were no restrictions here. Humans could kill each other at will here. However, Wang Xian did not see anyone fighting here. Clearly this land plate could not withstand strong attacks. Perhaps there was an unspoken rule that no fighting could take place here. Wang Xian kept flying forward and soon came to the edge of the land plate. When he came to the edge he saw a pitch-black entrance to the abyss. The entrance was very irregular and it was pitch-black inside. Vision was greatly obstructed. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow and flew in without hesitation. Around him, there were many people flying out of the abyss or entering it. As soon as he entered, Wang Xian immediately sensed some changes in the empty space around him. The space inside was extremely sturdy, unlike the outside where powerful attacks could tear the space apart. It's just like what the AI said. Wang Xian's eyes lit up. The abyss was very scary. Once you entered the abyss you could not return to your own holy kingdom. The surrounding space will confine you here. It's impossible for you to escape. The deeper you went, the stronger the confinement. Even eternal God Kings could not think of returning to their eternal holy kingdom immediately. The greatest threat of the abyss was here. It was extremely difficult to exterminate the abyss species. However, there is also an advantage to this. The abyss species could not return to their nest instantly. Wang Xian murmured. This was like a special space. Wang Xian flew for thousands of kilometers in the abyss and saw a huge land in the pitch-black abyss ahead. There were some special plants on the land. This is the habitat of the abyss species? Wang Xian took a look and his eyes lit up. Once there were any floating forests, lands, mountains, flames, or rivers in the abyss, it meant that there were all kinds of abyss species living here. In front of him, all the abyss species had either been killed or had escaped. The abyss was huge with countless entrances. The entire abyss was interconnected. However, the more abyss entrances a place had, the more dangerous it was. This vast abyss is like an incomparably huge ocean. It's a little difficult to hunt abyssal demons and it's also full of danger. Wang Xian mumbled to himself. With a jerk of his body, he continued to fly in another direction. Occasionally he would bump into people around him and there were even groups of people coming over. It could be said that an abyss-type law crystal could allow a cultivator to improve rapidly. Even if this place was dangerous, people would still come to take the risk. And there were quite a few of them. So. After flying for half an hour, Wang Xian was already more than 10 billion kilometers away from the exit of the abyss. At this moment, a few shadows in front of him caught his attention. He looked over and saw two pitch-black figures that looked like cockroaches flitting across the void, directly attacking him. He narrowed his eyes slightly and waved his arm. The restrictive power of the 5 elemental laws directly restrained him. G. A sharp and ear-piercing sound entered Wang Xian's ears, which surprised him. Wang Xian waved his arm and the two abyssal demons revealed themselves. They had blood-red eyes with a tinge of green, long noses, thin mouths like mosquitoes and bodies like cockroaches. Bam! Wang Xian gently squeezed his arm, and one of the abyssal demons exploded. There was a law crystal in its body. This was a green law crystal. The two abyssal demons were at the eternal Lord God level. He sensed the energy within them. A law crystal was equivalent to the entire corpse of a wild beast of the same level. The corpse of the abyssal demons also contained a lot of energy. In other words, the corpse of an abyssal demon was equivalent to the energy of two wild beasts of the same level. This is much higher than the wild beasts. The AI said that the abyssal demons have no intelligence and only know how to hunt. Let's give it a try. After nearly 2 hours, Wang Xian finally found two abyssal demons. Soul capture. This was the first time Wang Xian used the soul capture on these creatures with low intelligence. In an instant, a bloody scene appeared in his mind. At a place that looked like a beach, countless abyssal demons broke out of their shells. The first thing they did after breaking out of their shells was to kill and devour the surrounding abyssal demons. After which, they hunted in the vast abyss. The stronger abyssal demons would subdue the weaker ones and form a group. They would eat the weaker ones of their own kind. As long as they devoured their own kind, they could evolve rapidly. It seemed that as long as they devoured more law crystals, they could grow endlessly. However, Wang Xian soon discovered that these abyssal demons preferred human blood. There were a few scenes where they ambushed humans that entered the abyss and sucked all their blood dry. One more thing. These abyssal demons seemed to have a very strong sense of smell. Wang Xian murmured. Just this abyssal demon of 5th order Immortal King realm could smell humans within a radius of hundreds of millions of kilometers. Under normal circumstances, an area of hundreds of millions of kilometers was the detection limit of an immortal king. The AI also discovered that the abyssal demons are bloodthirsty. Some forces are using large amounts of wild beast blood to attract the abyssal demons. Wang Xian murmured. He hesitated for a moment and moved his palm. Let's see if the divine dragon blood can attract the abyssal demons. Wang Xian murmured. At least 50 kilograms of divine dragon blood appeared in front of him. This was all his blood. 50 kilograms of divine dragon blood was nothing to Wang Xian, who had a height of more than 10,000 meters. However, for other creatures, this was an incomparably huge energy pool. It should be more effective than the blood of wild beasts. He murmured as he let the blood float in the void. He took out the 5 elements grindstone and set up a concealment array. At the same time, his yin and yang concealment ability was fully displayed. If the blood of the divine dragon is useful, it will be a great thing for the dragon palace. If it's not useful, I will need to enter the more dangerous entrance of the abyss to hunt a large number of abyssal demons. At that time there might be casualties. Wang Xian murmured as he waited quietly. However, in less than a minute, Wang Xian sensed a strange movement in the surroundings. Under his senses, a few abyssal demons were flying towards him at a terrifying speed. It's useful. His face lit up. Chapter 2569. 2 Level 1 Undying God King level abyssal species, and 1 Eternal God Lord Pinnacle abyssal species on the right. Wang Xian scanned the surroundings with his yin-yang 5 elements dragon eyes and saw 3 abyssal species flying towards him. Their green eyes stared at the divine dragon blood in front of them, filled with greed and passion. Close. When they were about 100 kilometers away from the divine dragon blood, Wang Xian made his move. He clawed his arm and the abyssal species that were flying towards him trembled slightly. Wang Xian grabbed it in his hand. Bam! With a slight movement of his palm, he killed it. Not bad, killing 2 Undying God King level abyssal species with ease. Wang Xian waved his arm and threw the 3 corpses into his spatial ring, his eyes shining brightly. If the divine dragon blood can attract these abyssal species quickly, the dragon palace can make use of this to kill them quickly and get their corpses. Wang Xian murmured and decided to fly deeper. The entire abyss was so vast that even the emperors in the imperial court had not fully explored the entire abyss. Moreover, if an emperor entered this place, it would attract the emperor-level abyssal species. After flying for 2 hours, Wang Xian had already stepped into the deepest region of the abyss. With his current strength, he could be considered as an expert in the dazzling starry vast world. After 2 hours of flying at full speed, he had already covered an extremely long distance. When he first entered, he could still see many people. Now he could no longer see them. Almost there. Wang Xian murmured and immediately set up a concealment array. His body was completely hidden and he placed the divine dragon blood at the side. Following which, he waited patiently. Zhi. As time passed, Wang Xian could vaguely hear an ear-piercing sound. They're here, the divine dragon blood is indeed very attractive to these abyssal species. He squinted his eyes and looked ahead. His eyes were filled with joy. Zhi. The ear-piercing sound was getting closer and soon, dozens of black bird-shaped abyssal species with green eyes flew over. There are 10 Undying God King level abyssal species. Great, another huge harvest. Wang Xian murmured. Suddenly he felt that hunting the abyss species was too easy. Among the 10 abyss demons, the strongest was only a third-order Undying God King. When they entered Wang Xian's attack range, he easily caught them all with a wave of his arm. Very good. With a wave of his arm, he killed it and threw it into the mother nest. Let's continue waiting here. Wang Xian did not leave but continued to hide in the surroundings. This time, after waiting for half an hour, another group of abyssal species appeared. This time, there were more than 100 Undying God King level beasts with a 5th-order Undying God King as the leader. This made Wang Xian extremely excited. He had captured so many abyss species in just one day. This harvest was too terrifying. We have to summon the members of the Dragon Palace and use the dragon blood in the dragon transformation pool to attract them. This will allow the strength of the Dragon Palace to increase crazily. He hesitated for a moment and decided to stay in the abyss for a few more days. In the next few days, Wang Xian used the dragon blood to attract the abyss species. The most he attracted was a group of abyss species flying in the void. There were more than 10,000 of them and over 100 Undying God Kings. However, it was a pity that the leader of this group was an 8th-order Undying God King. After Wang Xian sensed it, he did not even bother to use the dragon blood and immediately fled. Ha. After escaping from that group of abyss species, Wang Xian heard excited and ear-piercing screams coming from behind. That 8th-order Undying God King must have devoured his blood. Over 500 corpses of Undying God King abyss species in half a month. This is a huge harvest. I can definitely summon the members of the Dragon Palace over. This way the harvest will be even greater. Wang Xian murmured as he flew towards the exit of the abyss. Wang Xian had already investigated the basic situation of the abyss. With the dragon blood as bait, he could definitely summon the members of the Dragon Palace over. After using 6 hours to return to the exit, Wang Xian immediately took out the AI to inform Prime Minister Turtle and the rest. Send the mysterious demon, roving crab, firehammer race, berserk dragon species over. About 300 Undying God King level members. Bring over 5,000 caddies of dragon blood from the dragon transformation pool. Wang Xian instructed Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle replied immediately. Roving Yao, Duan Jinming, Roving Heavens, Roving Qi, each of you bring over 60 underlings. Roving Crab, follow them and head towards Dragon King. Within the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle immediately called the few leaders over. Also, Roving Yao, hide with the other spiky dragon species and don't get discovered. Prime Minister Turtle's eyes flashed as he reminded. Yes. Roving Yao nodded slightly. Roving Crab, bring the dragon blood and meet up with Dragon King. Roving Yao, Roving Heavens and the rest nodded and immediately flew out of Dragon Star towards Wang Xian's location. Members of the Dragon Palace have come out. According to the investigation, there are 4 6th-order Undying God Kings and the rest are over 130 Undying God Kings. They should be heading towards the abyss. Dragon King entered the abyss half a month ago and there's no trace of him there. They should be meeting up with Dragon King. Not long after Roving Yao and the rest came out, news spread secretly to a planet within the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's territory. At this moment, in a huge hall on the planet, over 100 Undying God King experts were sitting there reading the news. We know that Dragon King and over 100 Dragon Palace disciples have entered the abyss. Everyone should be aware of the situation there. I feel that this is an opportunity for us. The sect leader of the 3 C's sect scanned the surroundings and said with flickering eyes, "The abyss is so huge. It's going to be difficult to find him." The sect leader of the Monster Slayer sect frowned and said softly, "This is a good opportunity. However, the abyss is too huge. It's going to be extremely difficult to find him. However, if we don't go, the chances will be even slimmer. We can send people over. Even if we can't find the Dragon King, we can focus on killing the abyss species and distribute them." An expert from the Jianghu group pondered for a moment and said, "However, if we want to make a move, the old ancestors of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect must take action. Otherwise, that Dragon King will be able to annihilate all of us." An expert from the Black Forest group looked at the people from the 9th grade Heavenly Sect. It's impossible for all of us to go over. However, it's sufficient for one to go over to deal with the Dragon King. The rest of us can eliminate the rest of the subordinates of the Dragon King. The people from the 9th grade heavenly sect pondered for a moment and nodded their heads. Chapter 2570. What Wang Xian did not know was that the 9th grade heavenly sect in their alliance had also sent their people over. They were just here to try their luck. If they could meet people from Dragon Palace, they would. If not, they would hunt some abyss demons. However, what the 9th grade heavenly sect did not know was that Dragon Palace's spike dragon was hidden within. Secondly, Aosier alone could represent the entire race of the devouring dragon. Within his body, there were 500 Immortal King Realm experts, including 2 6th Order Immortal King Realm experts. On the surface, Dragon Palace had only sent 140 experts. 5 hours later, Wang Xian saw a group of experts from Dragon Palace rushing towards the entrance of the abyss. Dragon King. The group of Dragon Palace members greeted him respectfully. Let's go." Wang Xian looked at them and said with a smile. "Yes, Dragon King." The group of Dragon Palace members nodded and followed behind. After entering the abyss, Wang Xian and the group flew in at a terrifying speed. That seems to be the Dragon King from Dragon Palace. I have to say that Dragon Star has risen too fast. Now, it is the most popular planet in our South Star galaxy. It's them? Let's go, our Tianshan Sword sect has no feud with them. Behind them, a few hundred middle-aged and old men saw the group of Dragon Palace entering the abyss and discussed softly. A few hundred people also flew into the abyss. Due to the stability of the South Star galaxy, some experts and forces came to the abyss to hunt for abyss demons. If they were lucky, they could hunt hundreds of them, which was equivalent to hundreds of thousands or even millions of years of hard work. If a God King expert wanted to break through, they would need the support of powerful resources. Dragon Star was already powerful enough, but a year's worth of resources on a member of Dragon Palace could only give him the strength of a 6th Order Immortal King. This was also because the members of Dragon Palace had the bloodline of the Divine Dragon, which made it easy for them to improve. If it was an ordinary person, a year's worth of resources from Dragon Star could help an Immortal King advance from 1st Order to 2nd Order Immortal King. It was extremely difficult for an Immortal King to improve without fighting. Of course, there was a price to pay for fighting. Countless experts were buried in the abyss. There was once a powerful faction in the South Star Galaxy, but all of their top experts had fallen in the abyss, and the entire faction had fallen into decline. Did you bring the dragon blood? After flying forward for 10 hours, Wang Xian found a dilapidated abyssal land floating in it. The land was about 1,000 kilometers in circumference, which was not too small. Yes, I have. Roving Crab nodded. You guys will be divided into 3 teams. The center will be about 500 million kilometers apart. Then place the dragon blood in the void to attract the abyssal species. If you guys can kill the abyssal species on your own, kill them directly. If you can't kill them and there aren't any 7th Order Undying God Kings and above, take the dragon blood and run towards me. If they are too strong, give up on the dragon blood and run. Wang Xian reminded the members of Dragon Palace. Yes, Dragon King. The group of members nodded and immediately spread out. This time there were fire gold dragons that had come. All of them had grasped array formations and could completely set up concealment array formations to hide themselves. Only an Undying God King 6th Order and above would be able to detect them. Encountering such an abyssal species, they did not need to hide and directly fled. Roving Demon, Roving Heavens, and the others were spread out over a radius of 2 billion kilometers. Wang Xian placed the dragon blood on a pond on the land in front of him and waited quietly. Half an hour later, a series of roars came from below. The abyssal species came in all shapes and sizes. They could freely evolve their bodies, which was also the reason why they were so strong. Looking at the few Undying God King abyssal species charging towards him, Wang Xian squinted his eyes. The dragon claw reached out and easily caught them and destroyed them. The dragon blood is so convenient. Wang Xian murmured as he continued to wait. After half an hour without encountering any abyssal species, he immediately changed his position. At other places, the other members of Dragon Palace had also reaped many rewards. Wang Xian and the members of Dragon Palace had maintained a relatively close position, using the dragon blood to lure them. The following month was very smooth. They swept through a huge area and killed over hundreds of thousands of abyssal species, among which there were over 1,000 Undying God Kings. among which there were 5 6th Order Undying God Kings. Give me 1 to 2 years and Dragon Palace will be able to improve tremendously. These 5 6th Order Undying God King Abyssal Species corpses will allow Dragon Palace to produce a 7th Order Undying God King. Wang Xian murmured as he hid and waited with a smile. That is? There are so many abyssal species. Elder, look. At the same time, not far away, a group of middle-aged and old men looked ahead with excitement. In front of them, hundreds of abyssal species were flying towards them. Leading them were dozens of Undying God King abyssal species, the strongest of which was a 4th Order Undying God King. Ah, what great luck! Let's go and capture all these abyssal species. Everyone's faces were filled with excitement. They're here. Everyone get ready. In front of the hundreds of abyssal species, Roving Heavens stared at the abyssal species flying towards the dragon blood, his eyes gleaming. Wait, Leader Roving, there's a group of people flying towards us. A fire gold dragon species looked up and reminded Roving Heavens. Huh. Roving Heavens looked over and squinted his eyes. Mysterious demon, don't show yourself first. The rest of you, kill this group of abyssal species. He swept his gaze across the group, frowned slightly and ordered. Yes. The group of Dragon Palace members nodded their heads. Attack. At this moment, Roving Heavens ordered and a series of terrifying attacks engulfed the hundreds of abyssal species. Rumble. Violent energy engulfed the group of abyssal species instantly. Oh no, Elder, someone is stealing our prey. Above them, the group of people was shocked when they saw the abyssal species they were following being attacked. The other party isn't very strong. Snatch our prey. The leading elder squinted his eyes and stretched out his arm. A huge green palm grabbed towards the abyssal species that was being attacked. Stop, this is the prey that we have lured over. Roving Heavens saw the other party making a move and his eyes turned cold. With a wave of his arm, blood-red chains wrapped around all the abyssal species. Bam bam bam. However, the elder wasn't weak either. The green palm collided with the blood-red chains, creating a loud bang. This is the prey that we are chasing, he said coldly. With a sweep of his palm, he grabbed a portion of the abyssal species corpses. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.